A couple find themselves lured into a Russian oligarch's plans to defect, and are soon positioned between the Russian Mafia and the British Secret Service, neither of whom they can trust. Welcome back to Movies Explained. Today's film is a crime thriller drama, from 2016, titled, Our Kind of Traitor. In Moscow, a powerful Russian Mafia boss named Nicholas Petrov is having a meeting at the bank with his accountant Misha. Misha is stepping down and must sign off the accounts he has been controlling. After the meeting, Petrov bids farewell to Misha and his wife Olga and their daughter Anna as they leave. On their way, Misha's car arrives at a police checkpoint. A police officer approaches them and opens fire, killing Misha and his wife. Anna gets out and runs but doesn't get far before being gunned down as well. Marrakesh, Morocco. Perry, a college professor, and his wife Gail, a successful attorney, are on a romantic vacation, trying to save their rocky marriage. They're having dinner at a cozy romantic restaurant. A few tables down, a group of Russian men are having a party. They're singing Russian folk songs and having a good time. One of them breaks open a bottle of champagne with a knife as the rest cheer. Gail receives a work-related call which annoys Perry, but Gail reminds him that she previously warned him that she might have to do some work while on vacation. As Gail steps away to take her phone call, one of the Russians, Dima, approaches Perry and with a hard Russian accent invites Perry to have a drink with them. Perry tries to reject Dima, but he manages to persuade him with humor. Perry agrees and joins them. As they talk, Dima appears to like Perry and invites him to a nighttime party. Perry rejects him once more, preferring to spend time with his wife, but Dima makes a wager with him. He instructs Perry to hold up his credit card for a few seconds, and if he can recite all of the numbers, Perry must attend the party. If he cannot, he offers him $5,000. Perry agrees to the bet, and Dima gets them all right, forcing Perry to go. When Perry arrives at the party, he is taken aback by how lavish it is. Dima introduces him to Maria, and while the two are socializing, Maria chops up some coke and offers Perry a line. They continue talking. Maria asks what he teaches. Perry replies poetics, which fascinates Maria. As Maria steps away to get another drink, Perry heads to the bathroom, high as a kite. He sees a tattooed man forcing himself on a woman and intervenes and gets punched to the ground. Dima slams him to the wall and tells him that Perry is his guest. As they leave, Dima tells Perry that he's lucky, the guy at the party was a Russian mobster. Perry replies that he wouldn't have intervened had he known, but Dima tells him he would, because he's a gentleman. Dima invites Perry to play tennis, but Perry tells him that he really can't, he has to spend the day with his wife. Dima assures him he'll be done quick, since it's still early. As they're playing tennis, Perry's wife Gail arrives. As she waits, she chats with the twin little girls she's sitting next to, and learns that both of their parents are dead. Dima and Perry walk over and Perry introduces Dima to his wife. Dima jokingly asks what a beautiful woman like her is doing with such a lousy tennis player and introduces Gail to his wife Tamara. When Gail notices the bruise on Perry's face, he explains that he ran into a door. Dima informs Gail that tonight is his daughter Natasha's birthday and insists that they join him. Gail attempts to reject Dima, but he manages to convince her to have one drink with them and their driver will take them home. At the party, Gail is astonished at how elaborate and luxurious everything is. Tamara greets them and Perry heads over to get drinks for them. At the bar, Perry runs into Maria from the night before. Gail spots them talking from the distance and sees Perry walk away with her. Maria leads Perry to the terrace where Dima stands waiting. Dima asks Perry if he knows what the Vori is. He tells Perry it's like the Mafia but with honor. He informs Perry that he controls money for them. He was sent to Europe with his friend Misha when the Vori became international. Perry is nervous and wants to know why Dima is telling him all this. Dima tells Perry that Misha was the father of the two little twin girls. The prince summoned him to sign off the accounts he was controlling and killed him afterwards. He tells Perry that he, like Misha, is a threat to them. He knows too much. He knows where the money comes from and they will kill him unless Perry helps him. He gives Perry a flash drive and tells him to hand it over to the Mi6 when he gets home. Instructs him to inform them at the airport that it's a gift from the #1 money launderer for the Russian Mafia. He tells Perry that he has nowhere else to turn because everyone around him is watching him. At the London airport, Perry follows Dima's instructions. Mi6 agents soon arrive to interrogate him. Perry explains everything, telling them that Dima and his family would be killed if he didn't bring the flash drive. Mi6 agent Hector takes their contact information and sends them home until they review the contents of the drive. Later, Petrov and other prominent members of his organization are gathered at a soccer stadium in England, as the police watch them from outside. Agent Hector presents everything to his supervisor Billy Matlock and shares the new information they have come across from the flash drive. They watch as Petrov and his consigliere, Emilio Del Oro, meet with a member of parliament, MP Aubrey Longley, who's also the head of trade and finance. Agents Billy and Hector are surprised because Aubrey used to be their old boss. Agent Hector informs Billy that Arena Bank of Cyprus, which is a subsidiary of Petrov's empire, has filed an application to establish a trading bank in the UK to launder Russian mob money in London. Hector says that in order for Dima to cooperate with them and provide additional information, he wants the UK government to give him and his family asylum in the UK. Billy tells Hector that there's no way the UK would give asylum to a known criminal from the Russian Mafia and wants Hector to pull the plug on the operation. Later, agents Hector and Luke pay Perry and Gail a visit and take them to their headquarters. Hector informs them that Dima will be attending a fashion show in Paris and wants to make contact, but only if Perry and Gail are present. Perry and Gail don't want to continue their involvement anymore, but Hector persuades them by showing them pictures of the murdered parents of the twin girls they met in Morocco. He also informs Perry that next week, Dima will be signing over the accounts he controls for Petrov and most likely will be executed like Misha. Perry and Gail head to Paris. Hector instructs them that their cover is they're spending a romantic weekend in Paris and to act surprised when they see Dima. At the fashion show, Dima spots Perry and Gail and approaches them as Emilio and his men watch suspiciously. Emilio wants to know how Perry knows Dima, and Perry informs him about their vacation in Morocco. Dima invites Perry to play tennis later on. At the sports club, they go to change into their tennis clothes while Petrov's men watch them closely. In the changing room, Hector meets Dima and slips him another flash drive while Emilio signals his men to go check up on them as they're taking longer than usual. As Dima and Perry play tennis, Hector scans the flash drive. When they return after the game, Hector wants to know how much the corrupt UK politicians are being paid once the bank deal goes through. Dima replies 5 million each, with Aubrey receiving 20 million. Hector informs Dima that the only way he can offer him protection is if he gets the Swiss bank account numbers where the money will be wired to. Dima replies that the transfers will be made the same day he signs off his accounts. Later, Hector meets Perry and Gail and informs them that their operation hasn't been sanctioned by the UK government since they don't have concrete evidence yet, but once Dima gets the account numbers they'll get the green light and they'll be able to bring Dima to the UK and later make the case for the family. Perry knows that they don't have time. Dima's family is in a lot of danger and must be smuggled out and offers to help. Bern, Switzerland. Dima arrives at the bank to sign off the accounts. A banker presents him with the paperwork to sign. The funds will be transferred once everyone has signed. Dima scans the page, looking at all of the account numbers. The sign-off is complete and Petrov's motorcade heads to the Bellevue Hotel. Emilio informs everyone with a celebratory toast that they'll have the bank license and will be trading in a week. Meanwhile, Dima's family is at a museum accompanied with Petrov's men. Gail creates a diversion. The lights go off as she snatches the family through the back door. At the hotel, Dima goes to the kitchen to make his escape. He is pursued by one of Petrov's men, but he is able to overpower him and escape, slipping out the back with Perry. They unite at the airport, Dima's family thrilled to see him. As the jet prepares to take off to London, Hector receives a call from Billy, who informs him that Aubrey Longley convinced the Home Office to deny Dima and his family entry. Hector tells Dima that the only thing he can do is return and try to persuade them. Hector requests that Dima provide him with the account numbers in order to help him make his case, but Dima refuses. Meanwhile, Hector instructs Luke to take everyone across the border to the French Alps to a safe house, while Gail and Perry decide to stay with Dima and his family. In London, Hector meets with Billy, who informs him that he has scheduled a meeting with the secretary for tomorrow and that he must persuade him. Meanwhile, at the cabin in the French Alps, Natasha calls Andrei, one of Petrov's men that she had been secretly seeing. Andrei tells her how much he loves and misses her and wants to know where she is, while the rest of Petrov's men listen. During his meeting with the secretary, Hector informs them that he can prove Aubrey and other corrupt MPs are receiving millions if they allow Dima's family to enter the UK and offer them protection. There are some who object because the proof comes from a criminal, and the bank deal will bring billions of pounds into the UK economy, but Hector reminds them that it is blood money. In the cabin, Dima entertains the kids while everyone else nervously waits for word from Hector. Perry gets a call from Hector. He informs him that a helicopter will be coming in the morning to pick up Dima, but his family will have to wait a bit longer. Perry explains everything to Dima and Dima apologizes to Perry for getting them in this mess. He tells Perry that he's a good man, a man of honor, and asks him to take care of Tamara and the kids. At night Dima hears the dog bark and they rush everyone to the basement. Dima hands Perry a gun before going out with Luke and the owner of the cabin to investigate. The dog runs off into the dark. Shortly after, a loud squeal is heard in the distance. In the basement, yelling and screaming is heard above, followed by gunshots and a long pause of silence. Everyone is terrified. Perry goes up to investigate and sees Luke wounded in the shoulder. He tells Perry that they got 2 of them, and Dima followed the last guy into the woods. Perry rushes after Dima and finds him fighting with a heavily tattooed Russian gangster. As he aims his gun at Dima, Perry shoots him. Dima crushes his head with a boulder to make sure he's dead. Everyone gathers in the cabin. Dima is hesitant to fly to London without his family. Perry offers to accompany him, and Dima's wife convinces him that he must go. At the break of dawn, Luke drives Dima and Perry to the helicopter while Gale and Dima's family take a different vehicle to a different safe house. Once they arrive, Dima tells Perry that he'll go alone, and wants Perry to stay with Tamara and the kids. The helicopter takes off and Perry phones Gale to inform them. As they're talking, the helicopter explodes in the air. Dima's family is devastated. Tamara screams in disbelief as everyone sobs. Back in London, the TV announces that in today's financial news, the Arena Bank of Cyprus started trading in London this morning, as everyone applauds. Hector is disheartened to hear the news. Gale and Dima's family finally arrive in London. Perry pays Hector a visit, tells him that Tamara and the kids are grateful for arranging their safe arrival in London. Perry hands Hector a box and informs him that Dima wanted him to have this. Hector opens to find a gun inside. He asks Perry if there was also a message, but Perry replies no. Hector apologizes that things didn't work out, but Perry informs him that Dima's family is safe and that's all he wanted. Once Perry leaves, Hector starts inspecting the gun. Inside he finds a rolled-up note with lots of numbers and a note from Dima. Listed below are the names and account numbers of the people I've allowed over £20 million of criminal money to find its way into the City of London. With MP Aubrey Longrigg's name first, the list continues, one MP after another. The smile on Hector's face is priceless. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe for more videos.